Hi, this is my report for the 116 trophy race at Silverstone last weekend. Let's start with the explanation of the opening video and the sorry state of my car. So this was at testing on Friday and I was coming round Farm Curve and I lost the back end of the car, as you saw, and hit the barrier and the tech barrier, Armco and tech barrier, on the inside of the track. I'll produce another video going over why I think it happened rather than include that here. The crash bent about every steering and suspension part on this front corner, including the strut itself, which was, the outer casing was actually slightly bent. The gearbox cross member broke, as did the gearbox itself, where the mount goes onto the gearbox. One of the engine mounts broke, and I don't have a picture of that, and that caused the engine to shift violently sideways, which meant that the thermostat smashed against the steering column, the thermostat housing, and that's why you see lots of steam coming out the front of the car at the time of the crash. The tyres took a bit of a battering too. This is the left-hand front, and you can see this grass is actually jammed between the wheel and the tyre, you know, right in the beading there. This obviously dug hard into the grass, and I guess that's why I was spun round, because this is the front left, so that would have sort of rotated me around. This is the right rear, and you can see it's taken quite a hit, and there's all this white chalky stuff which I'm not quite sure what it is, but here you can see it's gashed right through the tyre. So this right rear tyre took a heck of a whack, because it was probably the thing that hit the barrier the hardest, although I don't know, it's a bit difficult to tell really. Could be the front. Well, the front right obviously took a big hit because we bent a lot of suspension parts, but quite interestingly, there was no damage to the rear right suspension. It was strung up fine, except for the toe had gone, I think it had gone way out, but once we adjusted it back in, it was all square, and the chassis was square after all of this, which was really good, obviously, because there's nothing much we can do if it actually causes any structural damage. The force of the impact also broke one of the seat rails, as you can see, and my accelerometer on the car measured a maximum acceleration of 5.3 G, I think it was, which I suspect it was probably slightly higher than that, but I mean 5G, Formula One drivers experience that going around some corners, don't they? So, you know, it's not a tremendous amount of force. But I know I've said this loads of times and I'll say it again, these are such tough little cars. It's just amazing. So given all the damage, and remember there's doors and rear quarter as well, quite serious damage, the question is, could the team get me out on Sunday and get me into the race? Right, well, we've finished qualification. As you can see, the car's looking good. Certainly no dramas. It's a little bit understeery, which we're going to look at that, but otherwise really good. The 40/40 team did an amazing job getting this back together under the leadership of Robin Page. A special thanks should go out to Simon Hopcroft Lopez, who supplied the panels, so the two doors and the front wing, and also Caroline Early for transporting them up to Silverstone. The team worked late into the night, both on Friday night and Saturday night, to enable me to race, so big thank you to the team. I also must add thanks to the medical team at Silverstone. As a matter of course, when you have an accident like that, they send an ambulance out, check you in the ambulance, then take you back to the medical centre, and they gave me a really thorough check over, and I was perfectly okay. I had a small bruise on the top of my foot where I think my foot had whipped across and hit the brake pedal, but other than that, I was fine, and I was certainly fine to race on Sunday. Oh, and there's another group of people I should thank. That's beginning to sound a bit like an award acceptance speech, isn't it? But yeah, my fellow drivers and competitors in the series, a lot of them came over to me to check I was okay when I was back in the garage, and I had offers of parts and help with the car. So, and you know, loads of people were prepared to pitch in. The team luckily got it all done, but yeah, they're a really nice bunch of people. Okay, let's take a look at my fastest qualification lap. Now that one that says 1:28.06 there, I don't know what went wrong there. I didn't do a 1:28.06 according to the time, you know, the timing that came from the TSL people, the timing people. But here we're going into one of the fastest corners, which is Abbey. So I'm pretty much a lift at the apex just to get the car to rotate, but you can pretty much do it flat out. Now farm there I ran out slightly wide because I got a bit wary about turning in too quickly, because that's obviously where I span and smashed the car up. Now I was a bit tentative, I must admit, when I was going round this lap, but it wasn't a bad lap, but I was slightly frustrated in that I'd done 1:27s during testing on Friday, and I firmly believe that there was a 1:26 in the car and there was a 1:26 in me, but I don't know, I didn't pull it out in this session. So we're now coming down to a really fast corner, Stowe. Now this is where I was having problems with the car after it had been fixed. I could not get it to go around Stowe at any reasonable speed. It was understeering really badly. I tried various lines during qualification and during the race, and I just couldn't find a way to carry the speed through Stowe. Okay, so this was all okay. Just coming up to the timing line now, and there you go, a 1:28, and it was recorded as a 1:28.7 by the official timekeepers, so that was my time. So I qualified 41st. That's just so bad for me. I mean, that's the lowest I've ever qualified. I look back at my results even when I first started racing, and I've never qualified that far back in any event. Some of it, I guess the car wasn't perfect. We restrung the car again between qualification and the race, but couldn't really find anything wrong with it. I think obviously I was a bit tentative, and I was holding back. Not so much for my safety. I never felt, even when the car was sliding across the grass and going towards the barrier, the only thing I could think was, please don't hit the barrier, because I was worried about the car. And I think I was a bit like that during qualification. I was thinking, if I smash this up again, that's going to be the end of my weekend. So I was a bit tentative. But yeah, there was plenty of opportunity here, starting from 41st, and as my daughter always says, I mustn't get down on myself. So let's take the positives here. The only way from this point is upwards, isn't it? So let's talk about the race. If you've watched my recent race videos, you'll know that I've been having problems with my front-facing camera. And despite the fact that I thought I'd cured the problems, I still had the problem in this race. So I'm just going to talk to you about the start, because we'll look out the back window and we'll see quite a bit of action, as it turns out. But yeah, let's talk about that, and then I'll just tell you how the race went, and we'll look at the results. I can't believe this has happened again, but luckily I think we've actually found out what the problem is, and I've confirmed that with the technical support people for the camera, so at least we'll have something next time. Okay, at this point we're just coming round just to start the lap, so we've just come through the Vale chicane. This is the club corner, and now we're on the start finish straight. The lights have gone out and it's started. So you can see there's already been an accident just there with Giles hitting the Smith car. I'm not quite sure who was driving, but now you see that was really bad. So if you look over on the right hand side, you can see cars going off, a car off on the green. So at that point I passed 5 cars because they'd had an accident, and 2 further cars because they'd had an accident a bit further on. So it's not a great way to gain places, but I'd gained 7 positions just in that start finish straight. Now at this point I think, yeah, we're already under safety car, and so we went round under the safety. Giles is just about to go past me, but I waved at him out the window to warn him, because otherwise he would have got a penalty. So luckily he saw me waving and backed off, because I did that once and I got a penalty, and he's an ex-teammate and I don't like to see him get a penalty unnecessarily. So we're 7 places up, and we're under safety car, but eventually the race is red flagged. I think there was 14 minutes on the clock. So when we restarted the race, we came out and immediately the pit window opened, because it opens after 15 minutes. So a lot of people dived in the pits. I waited for a few of my teammates to go in, and then I went in and did a pit stop. Unfortunately, I did get caught up in one of my teammates' pit stops, which cost me 10 seconds extra, because he was a bit slow coming in, and then they had to hold me because he went out behind me. Yeah, so that wasn't ideal. So that cost me 10 seconds, but the second pit stop, which I did a few laps later, that went very smoothly and I got that done, and it was pretty fast. I think the fastest pit stops were 1 minute 30, and I think mine was a 1:32, so not bad. So here are the results, and you'll see that I finished P25. So in total I made up 16 places, so 7 at the very start and then another 9 through the rest of the race. If you look across to the right hand side, you'll see that my fastest lap time was a 1:27.287. Frankly, I'm disappointed with that. I should have been doing 26s. I think I said earlier, I was capable of 26s and the car was capable of 26s. The car wasn't performing terrifically well. I think there was something slightly wrong. I did mention earlier about the understeer, particularly around Stowe. I found that I couldn't carry speed through Stowe, which was a bit frustrating. And also I was too timid at the start, because it takes me ages to get up to speed normally, and what with the accident as well, I think I was still a bit uncertain. We had made a few minor changes to the car, but really I should have just got on with it. So I don't think I performed at my best. But I learned a lot. I did learn a lot, and it was great fun fight against the people I did have to battle against. In particular, there was a guy in Sam Holman's car. Yeah, it was Callum in car 31 who finished just behind me. I had a great battle with him. I overtook him, he overtook me, so that was good fun. But yeah, considering the starting position, it wasn't a bad result, quite honestly. Although, I'm trying to get top 15, so not quite there. My next race is at Donington. That's the last race of the season, and this is the track where I tried this crazy move last year. Yeah, so we'll try not to do that this year and try to have a good race and not throw away 5 places right at the end of the race like I did there. Okay, thanks for watching. Hope you found that interesting, and I'll catch you on the next one.